We saw yesterday how Jesus was arrested, the events of the Last Supper, his struggle in the garden. And after being arrested, we come to his trial. It may seem strange these days to think of a trial happening so quickly, but they were desperate to get rid of him. He was accused of blasphemy, claiming to be the Son of God. And so they take him to Pilate, the Roman governor. Now Pilate's got all these things going, all these tensions to hold. He wants to avoid a riot. He can see what the crowd are going to be like. What happened at that trial? And it was a custom at the Passover for one prisoner to be released, and he thought maybe this would be an escape. Maybe this could be an escape and people would agree to release Jesus. There was a choice to release Jesus or a man called Barabbas, a murderer. Pilate knew what was there, knew what was at stake, probably didn't want to get involved. What happened at the events of the trial of Jesus?
They could find nothing he had done wrong. Pilate didn't know what to do.
So he asked the crowd, "What do you want me to do with this man?"
And the crowd shouted,
"Crucify him!"
Pilate gave the crowd a choice.
Free Jesus! Free Barabbas!
And the crowd shouted,
"Free Barabbas!"
Fearing a riot, Pilate handed Jesus over to be crucified.
Peter declared, "Even if all fall away, I will not."
Peter is asked 3 times if he knew Jesus. Each time he said,
I don't know or understand what you're talking about.
The soldiers mocked him
and put a scarlet robe on him.
And then twisted together a crown of thorns and set it on his head.
They put a staff in his right hand. After they had mocked him, they took off the robe and put his own clothes on him. Then they led him away to crucify him.
They came to a place named Golgotha, which means the place of the skull.
They offered Jesus wine to drink, mixed with gall, but after tasting it, he refused to drink it.
When they had crucified him, they divided up his clothes by casting lots.
And sitting down, they kept watch over him.
Above his head, they placed the written charge against him. This is
King of the Jews.
People passing by hurled insults at him.
You who are going to destroy the temple and build it again in 3 days, save yourself.
"Come down from the cross."
He saved others, they said, but he can't save himself.
He's the King of Israel. Let him come down now from the cross, and we will believe in him.
2 other men were crucified, either side of him.
One of them hurled insults at him,
but the other asked Jesus for forgiveness.
Jesus answered him, "Truly, I tell you today, you will be with me in paradise."
From noon until 3 in the afternoon, darkness came over all the land.
About 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Jesus cried out with a loud voice, "Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani," which means, my God, why have you forsaken me?"
And when Jesus had cried out again in a loud voice, he gave up his spirit.
At that moment, the curtain of the temple was torn in 2 from top to bottom.
The centurion said, "Surely he was the Son of God."
A hope that seemingly had been shattered. People changing their minds very quickly on Jesus. Jesus led away and crucified. The hope that so many people have put their hope in this man, Jesus. And this appeared to be a hope shattered. But this had to happen for God's great rescue plan, God's great love that he showed to his people, that still applies to us today, that for God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, and that whoever believes in him shall not die but have eternal life. That day when Jesus went to the cross, he did so for us because of God's love for us. How do we respond to that? We can think about that over the coming days, how we respond to God's great love. But as we see, this would not be the end. This would not be the end. Death could not hold him. Over the next couple of days, we'll think about what happened in between and then of the events of Easter Sunday and reflect on what Easter means to us, what Jesus means to us, how he is still so relevant for us today.